I was born in San Francisco. I've lived in Oakland, moved to Queens, moved back to San Francisco. Then around '89, moved to Detroit. My mom's from Detroit. Then moved back to San Francisco, lived there for 9 years. Then moved to LA, then Barcelona, now back to New York. Greg Carroll started hooking me up with think boards. ATM and then 60/40, and then Menace with all the name changes. So I stayed on Menace through MNC, All City, City Stars, but I guess that's all one company. After that, I just kind of floated around for a couple years, and then I got on Santa Cruz. And that was my last sponsor. Well, actually, I have a board on a French company called Metropolitan now. And so it's kind of just the old guy company. It's kind of cool. I met Carl. We went to the same school, Carl Watson. He was like, hey man, like he saw my setup. I had like a janky setup. And he was like, hey man, you should come to my house after school. Like Carl was already sponsored. Like Carl's been sponsored for like 25 years or something. So he was writing for Dogtown and Venture and stuff. And so we went to his house after school. He gave me a set of Venture magnesiums. And then I set it up. And then we went to Embarcadero. And I stayed there. I think I was supposed to be home at like 6:30 or something. And I stayed there until like 8 o'clock. And I got home that day and the police were in my house. My mom had called the cops. Yeah. And since that day, I never left. Embarcadero every day. The one that always sticks in my mind is Henry Sanchez backside flipping the 7. He did that really well. Mike Carroll every day. Henry's fakie 5-0 fakie flip also was pretty mind-blowing. It's hard to say. That's a tough one. That's like saying like Jay-Z or Nas. Like, I don't know. Something that I always talk about was that back in those days, you only did a trick once. That was it. Like you see the kids at Street League, they do that stuff 20 times a day. So they have that muscle memory. If you did it, and especially if you got it on film, or if somebody even just saw it, so that they could say, I saw Henry backside flip the 7, that was good enough. And you never did it again. Because you see that set of stairs there? So-and-so did that. And then that's cemented in history. EMBA, for sure. Pier 7 was fun also. Marcus McBride, just going crazy, just doing every single trick over the platform. Crazy manual trick.
Here comes the bull. Here comes the bull.
Rob Welsh, maybe the Caballero back nose blunt, like the whirly bird. It was nuts. Let's see what we got here. Oh yeah. I did a modeling job for Sears. And so I was like, I was 15, it says right there. I got a check for $350, and to cash the check, I didn't have a bank account. So I went to check cashing, and this is the ID that they give you. They like give you an ID. And then I cashed a check there. I felt like I was rich. I showed Gons this ID and he used it for an ad. I bought Sam Smythe, I bought us a couple of New Era caps. Probably just partied, drank with the rest. Joey Surreal came down to Embarcadero, saw me skating, told Mark about me. Mark came, saw me skating as well, sent me some boards, like maybe like 10 boards. I was already tripping about that. Blind Video Days was my favorite video. So for Mark Gonzalez to send me boards was amazing. And then next thing you know, I flew down to Orange County and I was staying at his house. Billy Valdez, the best. Wallows. I love that guy, best style. I haven't seen Billy in like maybe 15 years. Javier Nunez. I always stop by Supreme whenever I go to LA. Yeah, Hobbs. He's still killing it. He's the last Don from the Menace crew. Airwalks. Look, Eric Pupecki. Love that guy. I think he was unreal at the time. Big brother. All right. Wow. Into the Poo-Tang. I wish I was in this one. I never knew who the girl was. How easy was this ad? Sell 100,000 boards after this. Germany, we were so big in Germany. Yeah. They loved us. I think it's awesome, it's classic. No, we weren't really pushing the envelope. Joey said it before, like, we had good style, brought some flavor to the scene, but skating, first of all, wasn't our #1 priority. Kareem was the best one on the team, obviously. No, he wasn't even on Menace, exactly. Eric Pupecki, he did kind of like step up to the table situation. Fakie 5-0, front blunt, yeah, you're right. Fabian was really good. Probably Javier Nunez. Steven Callis as well. I mean, Steven was an amazing skateboarder. Wasn't me. We were waiting to do the Menace video for like 5 years, and then it just never happened. I think it would have been a pretty good video. And it would have been something for me to start my career on, because I kind of started and then nothing ever came out. Just like a photo here, a photo there. So people were like, kind of like, what's up with this dude? Trilogy. Classic. Probably when it came out. Quite a lot, actually. But you just watch everything on repeat, you know? Just really into it. Yeah, really into it. I think every trick I had in this video was a crooked grind. A front crook, a crook at Beneficial. I did do a front crook to Fakie at Beneficial, which they now call J-Quan these days, which I was very proud of. I think that was the only hot maneuver I had. I don't remember. Probably Marcus, maybe Gino. Yeah. 101 was amazing also. Kareem did a 360 flip 5-0 on a picnic table. Oh, that was 20 shots. Gideon Choi had that line where they film it from far away and he does like a massive switch 360 flip at the end of the line. That was amazing. Day one did a lot of picnic table stuff. That was like what he was doing for a while. I think Maurice Key did a switch heel flip tail slide. Big shout out to Momo. Jason Dill had an awesome part too. I always liked Dill. He's always been the same dude. He always says what's up. I do, I have a funny story about Josh Casper. So we went on a tour. Okay, in one van, it was me, Steven Callis, Maurice Key, LeVar and Marcus McBride. And then in the other van was like the A-team, like Gershon Mosley, Josh Casper, Rodney Mullen. So we were like going through the Midwest and the vans were splitting up. One was going down towards Florida and we were gonna hit the East Coast, the hood van or whatever. So Josh Casper got in the van with us. Rodney Mullen really didn't want to let him get in with us, but he's like, I really want to go to the banks and do a line like Jamie Thomas did where he started off and push and hit the rail. Casper wanted to do that also. So he got in the van with us and of course everybody proceeded to give him a lot of, you know, flack, break his balls for like, you know, weeks at a time. I wasn't that type of guy. I wasn't like a bull, not saying anybody was a bully, but I was just kind of, you know, I would laugh, but I wasn't really, you know, messing with him too much. And we got to Rhode Island. I don't think he did the line at the banks either. I forget what happened. We get to Rhode Island and we're at some house party. Maybe some words were exchanged and I think my reasoning is that he thinks that I was the most weakest one. The one who he could like try to show that he's not a punk to. And so we ended up getting in a little fist fight. And in the morning he had a black eye. But I do like Josh Casper, and if you see this, I'm sorry about that. I'm a peaceful person and I really respect you and your skating. Yeah, even with the Benihana, the Casperholics. Oh wow. Eric Pupecki making dollars. This is amazing. I wish I had this. I do, yeah. It's a great board. Super small. Eric's a solid dude. He was the mature man of the crew. He was kind of like the voice of reason. Him and Fabian used to butt heads a lot because Fabian was a little wild and Pecky would kind of try to like put him in his place or tell him to calm down. He was always more chill. Rasta vibes. Shape actually looks pretty good. I ride 8-inch boards, but I think that that's actually small these days. Can't even remember. Of course, the Javante one. I think he's like hiding from like the. Yeah, that was a good one. And the world got weird after a while with the wet willies and all that. Wet Willie. I think that was their #1 seller. It's weird. I don't remember that many Menace graphics. Didn't really pay attention, I guess. I was selling them at FTC. Maybe like 10 boards. 2 or 3. Yeah, I'd get the box, go to FTC, sell half of it. Kent knew that we were selling stuff down at the pier, so he would, instead of taking away from his business, he'd just buy it from us. We'd sell the used stuff at the pier. Yeah, big one. A really big tab. I owe them. I had a snowboard on the tab. Because we went to Boreal. It's like this ski resort near Tahoe. And I borrowed a snowboard from FTC, and it got stolen. we went into the lodge, into the ski lodge, and I remember somebody was telling me like, yeah, it's cool out here. You can just leave stuff wherever. And so I stuck it in the snow. I came out like 15 minutes later and it was gone. I don't think that ever got paid off. No, I don't know if I ever settled anything up. I'm gonna say, without a doubt, probably Javante. It's just to the point where it's like not even a tab anymore. Just a free-for-all. I had a one trick. It was at Embarcadero. There was like a little street gap and on the fountain. I did a switch pop shove it. Exactly. Yeah, Mesa was filming everything. Nah, like after City Stars, random people in the streets would say like, why don't you get on chocolate? And yeah, like I always fantasized about it, but I don't think I was good enough to ride for chocolate. I almost left Menace to ride for Profile. I don't know if you remember, there was an ad. It was Carl, Spencer, me. I was in that ad because I was gonna ride for Profile. And then Kareem came up to San Francisco. I don't think he was there specifically for that, but then he kind of like gave me like a good talking to. I remember we were actually at these guys like Mike Hernandez and these Peter BC and them had a house over there with Chris Keefe. We were actually all there, and like Kareem was talking to me about it in front of all those dudes, like the most intimidating crew. Like, what are you gonna do? And then all those guys are just kind of like in the background, like rolling blunts and like. It was a little awkward. I don't know. No disrespect to like Menace or anything, but when I look back on things, Profile ended kind of abruptly. I feel like when you're in skateboarding, sometimes it's more of a blessing when it ends earlier. Not the actual act of skateboarding, but kind of the trying to get paid for it. Sometimes I think that me personally, I kind of hung on to skateboarding a little too long. Professional skateboarding. All right, what do we got here? Oh, I knew that this was gonna emerge at some point. This is the only board that I have of my pro boards, yeah. The City Stars Black Bastard. I always thought it was funny that Kareem gave me this because I'm obviously not as black as he is. I'm half white, so it was funny that I had no input in this board whatsoever. I did like it, yeah. I never showed it to my mom though because she would be a little sensitive about it, especially since my dad's not really my life. So she'd be like, I don't think she'd be feeling it. Kinda. I don't think I deserved to turn pro, but I was down to do it anyway. It just happened one day and I was like, all right, this is cool. And then 8 months later, City Stars went under, I guess. Yeah, I was a paid pro skater for 2 years and 8 months. With City Stars, I was pro for only 8 months and then two years with Santa Cruz. I just went to Barcelona and like fucked off basically. Because after I dropped that FTC part, I wasn't really planning on ever getting sponsored again. And then Jake Jones was like, hey, that part was kind of sick, man. Like, you want to ride for, I'm going to be the team manager for Santa Cruz. You want to ride for it? And I was like, okay. That was all Jake Jones putting on me, Welsh. And then I kind of had a hand in putting on Florentine Marfang and then Alex Carolino. So I was a big fan of the Lords video. And I was like, these dudes rip and they have no sponsors. Like, it's crazy. Let's grab these guys. You know what's funny? I only have this board because my friend Chad sent it to me out of nowhere. I saved a few boards, but when I lived in Barcelona, they were at my mom's house and my little brother sold them to his friends. Or he gave them away or something. And I was like, dude, did you notice that all those boards have my name on the bottom of them? I have a gold Menace pendant, the MNC pendant. One day I was like, maybe I can sell this to some crazy collector for like $5,000 or something. Yeah, I know.
I don't know if
I mean, I don't want to sell it really, but if some like Menace fan from back in the day wants to give me like 10 G's for it, it's something to think about, you know?
that would be well.
It's better that I don't sell it. I don't want to sell it. Now, there was a City Stars pendant. It was like white gold with diamonds. When City Stars ended, I actually pawned it and then I never bought it back. The Menace one is the hot one, yeah. Yeah, it was weird. City Stars, I wasn't really enjoying it at that time. And then those kids would make you really insecure. Yeah, we went on a trip to Vancouver and he did like nollie heel flip, nose slide down him and Mikey Taylor like nollie flip, nose slid that Chinatown hubba, and P-Rod did like 360 flip nose slide at that big ledge at the Embarcadero. I was like, fuck, these guys rip, I suck. Get me out of here. I was like, this sucks. And then we went to Vancouver, and then I think P-Rod got third and Mikey Taylor got fifth. And I was the pro, and I got like, I don't know, like 40th or like last place. I'm a little emotionally blocked, and like I don't really cry too often, but I think at the Vancouver contest, I had a little tear next to the ramp. Like I was skating good in practice, and then they called my name and it all turned to mush. I was just like, what am I doing? Yes. Classic photo. This is at Playboy Mansion. So there was an X Games party, and so we went to the Playboy Mansion. It was like me, Alex Corcoran, Bird, Carol, Nick Diamond. We all went to some like secret point where this like shuttle bus picks you up, because they don't want you to know like how to get there and stuff. This was like, makes it look like we're hanging out, but we just really just ran up on her and it was like over in like 5 seconds. We all had the idea that like maybe we could get some playmates, but the playmates actually didn't want to have anything to do with us. Like skaters nowadays would get the playmates because like they'd roll in there with their entourage and their money, but back in those days like playmates weren't really messing with us. I'm looking a little chunky. As you can tell, I'm a harsh self-critic. I'm pretty close to Pamela Anderson right here. Like cheek to cheek. Yeah. Of course. The best. Love this guy. This is a great board. Number 1, baby. Keenan Milton. Yeah, he came to San Francisco and he was staying in Oakland at our friend Eris's house. I don't know if you remember in the Plan B videos, there was like a warehouse that had a spine, like Mike did, pressure flip. So our friend Eris, his father was a famous artist, Peter Volkus. He had a warehouse and his parents just let him build a skate park inside there. We would all go over there and that's where Keenan and those guys were staying at the time. It was kind of in a sketchy neighborhood too, like right on the border of Berkeley and Oakland. I think one of the first experiences that Keenan had was that he was staying there and this guy that we know, like an Oakland guy, kind of like a thugged out dude, they like ran in there with masks and tied everybody up. Cause Eris kind of had like a lot of money, or his family, and then so they like took like mini disc players and like North Face jackets and like, it was funny. I remember Keenan was like, yo, it's kind of crazy out here. I think he did a fakie tray over a bench. Switch flip back tail. It was amazing. Keenan was a great guy. He was the only guy that I really would imitate everything that he did. He wore these like Eddie Bauer duck boots, and I was like, I'll buy some Eddie Bauer duck boots too. Everything that he did, I was like, maybe I'll do that. This guy had so much style and like, not for lack of a better word, swag. Everything he did was just great. Looked so good, such a stylish guy. It's really sad that he's not here to see everything that's going on, but maybe he's watching. Kendo, obviously, was one, and then like Kiddage. It was like, yo kid, you know. This is an awesome board, man. I think I slept on Keenan's couch, well, when he lived with Gino, I think for like 7 months. Finally, Pupecki kicked me out. We got in an argument. He was like, yo, get the fuck out of here. Beat it. I was like, I guess that's my time to go. That's kind of how things worked back in those days. I didn't take it personally. Ed Templeton. I wanted him to win the contest back in the day. I don't know, because he was ripping. I remember we did a demo, a Toy Machine Menace demo in Paris together. And Ed Templeton busted his face open and Kareem took his shirt off and wrapped it around Ed Templeton's head. When Ed Templeton is laying on the ground, he's like, take a photo of me, take a photo of me. Somebody took this like epic photo of him like bleeding out of his head. I think it was the night of that photo, actually, the Pamela Anderson photo. We went to an after party in Hollywood somewhere and Kareem was there and we had a conversation about City Stars and everything that was going on, and I don't think I've seen him since. I thought it was gonna go on forever. Really? Yeah, I did. I didn't really think about much in those days. I just was thinking about where we're gonna go that night, and like, it was just such a messy time. It never occurred to me that this was like not gonna last for a long time. I thought it would be like Girl in Chocolate. You know, it's 25 years later, like dudes are still collecting checks. It was over pretty abruptly. It definitely threw me for a loop. I was like, what the hell am I gonna do now? Puma 1. IBC. Illegal business controls. We didn't have any business, but whatever. Carl was in it. Sam was in it. Sam Smythe. Ben Sanchez was in it. Nibs. He was in IBC too. His tag was Nibs. I love Shamil. One of my favorite skaters, one of my favorite people in general. Mike's the best. He's always been my favorite skater. I will profess my love to Mike Carroll. You've always been my favorite skater. You've always been one of my favorite people. I love you very much. Yes. This is the pendant right here that I pawned. Like 70 bucks. And there's like diamonds and stuff in there. No. My favorite part is Joey Surreal's rapping. When you're riding with the city stars, I shine. What does he say? I rise, I rise. Shout out to Joey.
Word you heard from switch cook grinds to switch tail slides. I rise. I ride.
All I can say, this the game I chose. For this European car and these name brand clothes. Give respect from the significant game after war. Come down with a bounce and a strange ass flow. I got bigger than I thought I would. I did this shit that I thought I could.
Ryan Dinman kind of killed it. Hov's trick at Flushing Meadow. Kane Gale's a funny guy. Love that guy. Him and Ryan Dinman would get braids. They'd get cornrows. Their hair wasn't long enough, so they would get like extensions. I did pick the E40 song, yeah. I don't like my part in this video. I didn't try very hard for it. I was just pretty burnt out at the time.
What? Motherfucking Kansas City represent, bitch.
What's happening? You got the letters here, nigga. My boys, my hot boys, Juvie and Jesus. About to lace this game, nigga. Do it the way we do it with E4O, Charlie Hustle.
I went from rags to riches, thank hoes to bad bitches. Stealing niggas cold to CBs and expeditions. Thugging is how I play it every day, all day. I keep it on the way real. I can't see it no other way. I represent mine. Hot boys, flip up my whole clique ride. Get shot, boy, that's how it go. We straight do or die. We checkmate whole niggas. They come when your mama live there and kicking the door, nigga.
Let's get this shit crackling. My probation officer don't know what happened. Stay out the way, I'm HOTing about that action. Boot it up with them slugs and face masking. California fashion, I'm all about that luxury. I'm also about putting 50 in your head, boy. If you thinking about fucking me, I'm gonna be here for a minute. You gotta respect it. There's a lot of niggas out here getting killed and accepted.
Freezer burn platinum on my pinky. Look at me. Squatting 20-inch twinkies. Look at me. I'm like that. It's like that. What? I'm like that. It's like that. Look at me. Freezer burn platinum on my pinky. Look at me. Squatting 20-inch twinkies. Look at me. I'm like that. It's like that. What? I'm like that. It's like that. Look at me. Charlie hustle loaded in the fast lane, driving slow. With a case of tall cans and some broccoli in the badass sauce. Squatting 4 times.
Gino had like a Canadian tuxedo on. I wore like slacks with like dress shoes. And then I think Keenan had a tuxedo on. I was wearing like a turtleneck. I remember that day I went down to Melrose and I was like, I'm gonna buy like a nice outfit for this. So ridiculous.